Welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we're jumping into a fairy tale, but not just any fairy tale. We're going to use a chapter from the book Iron John to unpack some really big ideas. The mysterious walled garden, this incredible concept of the luminous feminine, and, what all this ancient wisdom actually means for us right here, right now. So let's just dive right into the story. Picture this. There's this young boy, he's working in the king's garden, and for just a second, he takes off his cap, and bam! It turns out he's got this hidden golden hair, the sun catches it, and this incredible flash of light shoots right up into the princess's bedroom, waking her up. I mean, what an opening, right? A literal awakening sparked by sunlight.
Okay, so this flash of light, it's not just some random thing. The story actually has a name for it, a suncat. And this gets at a really cool idea the ancient Greeks called kairos. It's not about your watch, it's about the perfect time, the right moment, a fateful instant when something that's been hidden is finally supposed to come out into the open. And that's exactly what's happening here. This light wakes up the princess, and that one moment kicks off everything that's about to happen.
So, you gotta ask, who is this princess? What does she represent? Well, the story is telling us that she's the boy's very first encounter with what you could call the non-maternal feminine. And that distinction is so important. Look, he has a mother. He knows that kind of love. But this is something totally different.
Yeah, we're not talking about the comforting, nurturing, I'll make you soup mother figure here. This is the luminous feminine. It's this powerful, almost wild archetype. It's all about soul and spirit and waking up. She's the one who starts things, the one who instigates, who has this kind of playful, almost otherworldly wisdom.
And what's so cool is seeing how different cultures have tried to put a name to this energy. You've got the woman with golden hair or the woman who loves gold. The Russians call her the female czar. I mean, talk about power. But my favorite has to be the Celtic one, the track of the moon on the water. Isn't that beautiful? It just perfectly captures how elusive and shimmery and magical she is. Okay, so for this incredible encounter to happen, the boy has to be in the right place. And where is he? He's been sent to work in the king's garden. Now, this isn't just a random setting. A garden, especially a king's garden, is packed with symbolic meaning in pretty much every myth and story you can think of. And this poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins, man, it just nails the feeling, doesn't it? This deep human desire to go somewhere safe, a place where things don't fail, where you're protected. That feeling is exactly what the walled garden, the hortus conclusus, is all about. So what is it, really? Think of it like a hermetically sealed container for the soul. It could be a monk's cell, a scientist's lab, even just a really focused piece of writing. The point is, it's any space that we deliberately set apart from the rest of the world so we can do that deep inner work. It's where new things can grow, safe from all the noise outside. So yeah, this garden is obviously a metaphor for an inner state we need to build for ourselves. First, it's a shelter, right? A place to heal when your trust has been broken. It's also a space for introversion, to finally hear what you yourself want, not what everyone else wants for you. It's a container for growth, a place where old, heavy stuff, the lead of depression, as the alchemist called it, can finally transform into something valuable. And, super important, it's where you figure out what you truly desire on a soul level. And look, this is not some dusty, ancient concept that doesn't apply to us. Creating a walled garden in your life today is all about setting boundaries. Seriously, maybe it's that 1 hour you carve out for yourself in the morning before anyone else is awake. Or maybe it's the decision to finally start learning that new skill. It's about building your own personal heaven haven, a space to protect and grow what's actually important to you. All right, this next part is maybe one of the most important warnings in the whole text. Because once you start to get a sense of this powerful, luminous feminine archetype, you run into a huge danger, confusing her with a real, live human being. And you know exactly what this feels like, right? We've all been there. You see this incredible, radiant face across a crowded room, and some deep part of you just goes, that's her. That's the one. That feeling? That's the projection. That's you taking this huge, otherworldly archetype of the golden woman and plastering it onto a regular person.
And this comparison just lays it all out plain and simple. On one side, you've got the archetype. She's golden, otherworldly, basically perfect. On the other side, you've got a real person. Someone who, has a stomach, has insecurities, maybe had a messed up childhood. We see the golden glow, and we completely forget we're looking at a complex, real human being.
And this isn't just some harmless crush either.
This confusion can be incredibly destructive. The book uses the example of Marilyn Monroe. A whole generation projected this intense longing for the divine golden woman onto her. And the weight of carrying that, it was impossible. It can cause so much pain, not just for the person doing the projecting, but especially for the person who has to carry it.
I mean, the text just puts it so bluntly, it's almost funny, but it gets the point across perfectly. It's a very earthy reminder that we have to be able to tell the difference between the divine ideal, the perfect goddess, and the actual, real, wonderfully imperfect human being who's right there in front of us. So what are you supposed to do, then? Well, the story suggests that when you feel that intense falling in love feeling for a face across the room, it's not actually about them. It's a signal. It's your own soul calling out to you, telling you it's time to do your inner work. The real journey isn't to chase that person, it's to go into your own garden and find that golden energy inside yourself. And this all leads us to the final, really big idea here. This whole story, it's basically a map. It's a map for a lifelong journey. A journey from one way of living to a completely different one. The text calls this the road from the law to the legends. So what does that even mean? It's about a massive shift in how you live your life. It's about moving from one way of being in the world to another that's way more authentic, way more connected to your soul.
Let's break it down. The law, that's all the rules, the dogma, the things you're supposed to do. It's dry. It's about what other people think. It's basically about just staying alive. But the legends? That's where the magic is. That's wildness, spontaneity, depth. It's not just about staying alive, it's about truly living.
And this is where the luminous feminine comes back in. This is her ultimate job. She's the one who kicks off this journey. She's the guide who can stand in both worlds at once, with one foot in the world of rules and another in the wildness of the soul. She's the one who helps you look past all the dry, boring stuff and see a world that's filled with so much more meaning.
So, this all leaves us with a really important question. A question that gets right to the core of what it means to build your own walled garden. So I'll ask you, what do you love so much that you want to protect it from strangers? What's that precious thing inside of you, a dream, an idea, a part of yourself that absolutely needs your protection so it has a chance to grow? Because figuring that out, well, that's where the real work begins.